Hello, we're going to talk about number 5, Unit 11, the GI Bill of Rights. The Servicemen's Readjustment Act was passed in 1944 to help young men and women in the military to re enter the workforce. Demobilization after World War I had caused a lot of hard feelings. A lot of people were unemployed. So, this GI Bill would delay employment for returning soldiers. Maybe they do part time jobs for a few years so there would not be unemployment, and the people who had those jobs that had taken over the soldiers' jobs during the war, maybe they would eventually retire if they'd been called out of retirement, or perhaps they would, get married, move, have kids, and so wouldn't be in the same type of job anymore. A lot of those people being women. So anyway, this was well thought out, and it was in 1944, well before the war came to an end, so that we wouldn't have 16 million soldiers coming back from the war without jobs. Okay, well, a few examples. It gave veterans special unemployment insurance. A c Definitely there are people that came back from the war and they suffered from shell shock or post-traumatic stress syndrome. One of those people, would include my Uncle Bud. His name was Bud Hill. He came back from the war and he had episodes where he couldn't get to sleep at night, and so anyway, he'd eventually fall asleep, and then he couldn't get up in the morning. So it's really hard to go to work if you have something like that going for an employer. So anyway, give him a little time to figure out what he wanted to do, and so anyway, he decided to use he used the special unemployment insurance, and then he used the number two part of the bill, which says it provided the veterans with loans to start their own businesses or to buy their own homes or farms. And so he bought his own farm, so therefore he became his own boss. And if he didn't get up in the morning, he could do his work in a later part of the day. Of course, you have to be careful with if you have milk cattle, but one way or the other, if you're milking cattle, but one way or the other, you didn't have someone that you had to report to in particular. Another person that I know of that worked with the veterans who borrowed money to start their own home or farm would be my mom's next door neighbor. His name is Glenn Copine. He was a sniper during World War II, and after the war, he got married, and his wife was telling me one day about how because Glenn is a pretty soft-spoken guy, about how he would wake up in the night every night and get dressed several times during the night because he thought his commanding officer was telling him to get up and go and shoot and be a sniper. And so anyway, he did not always have a very good night's sleep. So being able to get to using the GI Bill to borrow money for his farm was really, really helpful. So he did not have to, again, follow a set schedule. Let's see, moving on to number 3. It enabled those who wish to continue into college to have the government pay for their housing, books, and tuitions. This was golden. This was so helpful. Over 8 million GIs eventually did use this. They had to use this, though, within 5 years of their discharge from the U.S. military. My college roommate's dad, his name is Bob Hendricks, he used this GI Bill to go back to school. He was from Wisconsin and decided to go to school in dairy management, so he went to Iowa State University. And his housing, they helped pay for his housing. The federal government helped pay for his books, helped pay for his tuition. So these are things that were very helpful to him. But again, there was a time frame for using the education part, 5 years. So anyway, he needed to make sure that when he was discharged in 1946, that within 5 years, and it took him a few years to decide. He worked, but it took a few years to decide whether he wanted to go back to school. It did provide vocational training such as barber schools or electricians. There were people that thought, okay, well, they don't want to go the college route, but they want to go to vocational training. Like my Uncle Laverne, he got his 2-year degree in accounting, so he became a bookkeeper. Bill Robinson, who is from the neighboring town of New Richland, Minnesota, he had been in the U.S. Navy during World War II and had been um, joined in on a baby hitch, which meant 4 years or the duration of World War II. He went in 1943 and he got out in 1947. And he had learned on the onboard ship how it had been sort of the barber's assistant. So I thought this might be a good career for him to go into. And so he came back from the war. He went to barber school and he helped to get loan, or excuse me, the government helped him to get loans to buy tools that he'd need to set up his barber shop because those chairs that go up and down, they are expensive, and tools, you're going to need clippers, all kinds of things. So anyway, the federal government helped him to do that, but it did not take him 4 years to go to school for that. An interesting story about Bill Robinson. When I was talking to him about his experience during the war, he said he was on a ship in the Pacific. He got a Dear John letter, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with what a Dear John letter is, but it happened during the war when men were dating women. Sometimes the women would write them a letter when they're off in the battlefront, or him being in the Navy, saying that they're breaking up with them because they don't know if they're going to get back alive, and there's someone back at home who has offered to marry them. So anyway, they break up with their military boyfriend and then marry someone back home. So anyway, he got one of those, and Robinson didn't figure he could do much about it, when he was off in the Pacific. So when he came back from the war, he went to school, got himself self-established in a business, and then he called this woman who had been dating from before the war and asked her if he could, visit with her, in person. So anyway, and he said no big deal. He forgave her and all that sort of thing. So he went over to her house, a visit with her, had a cup of coffee, and they just kind of talked about old times and all that sort of thing. And then this lady's husband came home. And so, anyway, we talked a little bit, and Bill promptly punched that guy in the nose and left. So he needed a little closure about the Dear John letter. All right. Eventually, he got married and had 5 kids, and it was all fine. So, anyway, moving on to number 5. It caused the US, the GI Bill, to have the best educated population in its history. People who never would have had a chance to go into post-secondary education would now get advanced degrees. These are kids that had grown up in the Great Depression when they didn't have shoes, they didn't have health care, they couldn't go to school because they just didn't have money for good enough clothes, or schools weren't even open. Now they had all of these and more for their baby boomer families. So a few details on the GI Bill.